Okay, great.
We're all set. I'm just going to stick around for check-in and.
Terrific. Okay, well, thanks. So you're new on board with Get Set Up, or?
Sort of, yeah. This is like my 4th week or something.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah, relatively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying it.
I am. I wish I could stay in all the classes a little longer.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I go through some of the class schedule and think I need to take that class. I need to take that class.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Yvonne.
Hi, good morning, Scott.
How are you?
Good, thank you. And you?
Good. It's been nice. I've seen you a lot this week.
Yeah, lots to learn.
Yeah.
They're arriving. They're being transported by the federal government. We're receiving them and we were testing them up until yesterday when the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, took over that testing.
Okay. Seeing some other familiar faces. Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Scott. Nice to see you.
Ew. Hi, Regina.
Hey, good morning.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's too early for me to show my face.
Okay. Okay, we had a lot of signups, so I'm going to give it a few minutes for everybody to get in. In the meantime, do we have anybody here who is brand new to Get Set Up? Anybody taking a class for the first time?
Renee, hello, I am.
Okay, welcome, Renee.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah.
And Annie.
Annie, you're okay. Welcome. And welcome back to everybody else. Annie and Renee, are you familiar with Zoom? Anything I need to walk you through, or?
I think I am. I took the Zoom class a couple days ago.
Okay. Great. Yeah, just because we've got a big class, there may be a lot of questions coming through the chat. So as long as you know to how to work the chat, that should be fine too. And well, we've really got a lot streaming in here. So.
It's because of you, not the class. I'm just joking. Just had to throw that out there.
Aw, shucks. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and get us started. There may be a few people strolling in. I'm going to go ahead and put everybody on mute for the moment. Yeah, there we go. Just so we don't have any distracting background noise, but I will stop for questions here and there. I want to welcome you to this one. My name is Scott. I am a regular Get Setup guide. I do a lot of classes on this platform, mostly around photography and graphic design, things like that. This is a brand new class, so happy to have you here for the world premiere. And hope you have some fun with this. I'm just going to walk you through actually do a demonstration on a couple of online platforms that will help you create your own promotions, market brochures or flyers or signs or whatever you want to do. In fact, I may throw it out there and invite you to pitch to me something you'd like to see made, and I can kind of do a demo on that. And you're also welcome to open up any of these platforms to follow along if you'd like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my phone screen or my computer screen here. Again, I've got the chat box open, so as I go along, feel free to drop questions into the chat, and I will stop periodically for people to unmute themselves to ask some questions too. So, okay, let's go. Just a little bit more about me. I live in Silver Spring, Maryland, which is right outside of Washington, D.C. I was a former journalist, but about 20 years ago, I moved into more of the public relations and media relations area. And I've produced a lot of marketing pieces, magazines, and newsletters over the years, engaged in a lot of graphic design in my job. And now in addition to being a guide on Get Set Up, I enjoy photography and hiking and travel. I really enjoy being here on Get Set Up. I really love the interactive learning and love the community building mission. I enjoy seeing a lot of familiar faces in my classes and also meeting new people. And glad to have some new Get Set Up participants, and glad to welcome back a lot of you Get Set Up veterans. And a little bit more about Get Set Up. We do aim to help you learn useful skills from people like you, rather than getting it from some guru or online or some kind of expert. We're all your peers, and we've learned these things along the way and are just trying to share what we've learned with you. We learn ideally from each other. If you're not too shy, we'd love to see you on camera just to create more of a interactive atmosphere. We are recording this class. In fact, I need to make sure I turn that on. Yes, here we go. And let me get back here. Yeah, we are recording the class. So if you would like a copy of the recording, you can email us at help@getsetup.io and we'll get that sent to you. I'll have that up on the screen one more time before we close today. If you're joining us by live stream, welcome. The best way to participate in our classes is to actually register for a class, and then you can interact right away, ask questions, things like that. But we're happy that you're able to watch along on Get Set Up TV. And lastly, Get Set Up is not paid to promote any specific products. So any of the services I talk about today are not meant to be endorsements, just informational. Okay. All right. So what I want to walk through today is just getting on your radar some of the online graphic design options that are out there. And then we'll walk through using some of the templates that they provide to create materials quickly and easily if you don't want to spend a boatload of time doing it. But we'll also talk about designing your materials completely from scratch. And if you're really feeling creative, you can go that route. And then we'll talk about printing materials. So we'll cover all of that in the next hour or so. If there's anything else, I see Myra J just popped something in the chat about something she'd like to see done. So maybe we'll start out with that. If there's anything else you want to learn today specifically, just let me know. You can drop that in the chat right now. I'll check that as we go along. And I just want to start by just going over some of the many things that you can make online on some of these platforms. Brochures, flyers, posters. You can do invitations and postcards to a special event, something like that. Banners and signs. You can do labels and stickers. Logos. I see somebody's interested in the in logos, and business cards. So a lot there. And here are some things you can create promotions for. Any kind of fundraiser you might be participating in or promoting, yard sales if you're having a yard sale, parties and open houses, small businesses, any kind of religious event. I've seen people do this for book clubs, concerts and recitals, and much more. So here are the big services that are have an online presence. Some of these are even available on mobile devices. The big one is Canva. It's been around for years now. I think it's maybe launched in like 2012 or something like that. And you may have seen them advertising on TV. They've started advertising a lot on TV. It's a do-it-yourself graphic design platform. It allows you to do everything from making cards, just like personal greeting cards. I actually teach a class on that if you're ever interested in learning more about that. But they do everything from that to marketing brochures, to posters, signs, things like that. Design Bold is a competitor to Canva that I have just learned about over the last couple of weeks. The interface on that is very similar. Crello is another one, Visme and Vistaprint. Now, these are all, for the most part, free. They have free options to just design. There are some limitations on a lot of these on the free account where you may be limited to 5 designs per month or something like that. I know that Canva is mostly free. They do have a pro account. And mostly what that does is allow you access to more of their stock art and some of their different little vectors, design tools, things like that. But for the most part, you can do everything for free. The only thing you would be paying for is the printing. And if you have a printer at home, you don't even have to worry about paying for printing. You can just print it based on whatever kind of paper stock you have. Okay. I will get to one thing. I'm going to send you a list of all those services I just mentioned with links to their websites. And I'll also mention the ones that also have a mobile version that you can use. Canva has a mobile version. I think maybe Crello does. So those are options for you too, if you just want to do it on a iPad or even your smartphone. So let's open up one of these platforms. Let's go to Canva and walk through. This is when you open up the site, this is what it's going to look like. I just registered on Canva. It's free to just register. And then you've got a solid account. Every time you open up your web browser, you're going to see this. And you'll see down here, I've got designs that I've already been playing around with. I was working on a little brochure here just to kind of test things out, and then a yard sale sign. Of course, you've got cards here, but up here is where you find all your templates. So this is canva.com. I invite you, if you want to take a few minutes, to open this up, and you can follow along if you want. Okay.
Can that
All right.
be done? Can that be done along with showing your screen?
Yeah.
I don't expect you to take your time in the class to explain how to do that, but
yeah, it may be a little difficult depending on how big your screen is, or if you have another screen or something like that, Carter. But yeah, it may be easier to just follow along. I've just had people in some of the other classes say they'd love to be able to do this themselves as we're following along. So if you've got the capability to do that, feel free. All right, so let's go down and look at the different options here. If you go to templates, I'm going to go into marketing. And you'll see here, let's see, what was the one suggestion? Okay, let's try a brochure. Here's one, advertising Women's History Month. Let's see if we can do that. I'm going to go to brochure. Whoops. Go to brochures. And here you've got, I don't know that there's anything for a special occasion, but let's just say that we want to go with a template of some sort here. And just use this as sort of a backdrop. We do not have to follow this theme, but here is just a platform that we can work on. This is a trifold brochure. It will come up with some stock art that Canva has. This is premium art that they provide, but you do not have to use that. You can use your own art. Or you can just go here. They do have a lot of stock art open for free. So let's see if I just do a search, if I can find something here that is free. And you can just scroll down. Anything with a crown next to it is part of the pro account. If you're interested in a pro account, it's like, I think maybe 12, 13 bucks a month. But you can just select something here in the free options, and I'm just doing something quickly here. I don't know how historic this would look, but and we can then go in to, this is pretty big, so we can reduce the size of the, up here, you'll find all your options for your text, including the font and the text size. So I can just reduce this to something that fits in this space. And I can align it any way I want. If I want to center it. There we go. And of course, all this text down here is inapplicable. So you could put more text here. Maybe something like more information. And I don't know that you need an address here, but if you had something, an event or something that you were trying to promote, you could do that there. You can add art anywhere you want. Or just go into elements. Elements are just little graphic clip art, things like that. So you could go in here and maybe get something like this and put there. And maybe say something like celebrating women, and reduce the size of that and center that. There we go. Move it over a little bit. You also have your choice of fonts if you wanted to change this. Some of these are behind a paywall, but you could go with something like that or like that. You're able to change the color of the background if you want to do that. So I could, if you just click on it, it will allow you to go through here and maybe change it to red, and you can change the other elements here just by clicking on them. Maybe go into here and make this green. And maybe make that last page green, and you can have something like this. I don't know that I picked the best color scheme, but at any rate, that is a quick walk through just creating something pretty quickly. Okay. And so Iris, I saw your question. So does that, I hope that answers it.
Yes, it does.
Okay, great, great. So that's just one quick example. That's a trifold brochure. You can go into the next page, which would be the inner part of it. And since we changed our color scheme, we can do the background here back to the red. And maybe change that to red, and down here. And change that to the green, and we are all set. Okay. And again, you're
Sorry,
gonna
Scott,
see.
can I ask you a quick question, Brenda?
Sure. Mhm.
How do you get the text box on the screen? Do you just click on it and automatically puts it there?
Right here?
Yeah, like a text box, yeah.
Yeah, it's just automatically there. You can, if I wanted to delete that, I could, and add some other kind of text. You can go over here to text and drop that in. Just click on text, and again, you can reduce the size and bring that into here. So this is your inside. And once I'm ready to print this, now, of course, they'll have stock art sometimes in here. Because that is in there, it would cost you some extra money, even if you wanted to download it and print it yourself. But you can take those out and add in your own images if you wanted to.
What about adding images, say from Google?
Okay, sure. So if you wanted to go into uploads, if you go into uploads, you can upload media yourself, anything that you have of your own.
Okay.
And it doesn't allow you to import it from, I don't know why it doesn't allow you to import it from Google Photos. You can have, Google Drive is a separate cloud service that Google provides. So you could have your photos in there and import them in. You can also import them from Instagram if you've got some photos on Instagram, or a Dropbox account, or Facebook.
Okay.
What about Amazon?
Amazon isn't enabled here now, unfortunately. But you can also go here and download it directly from your computer.
Okay.
So say I'm just grabbing a photo like this, just something from my own photo library. And it uploads, and then I can just drop that in. So yeah, you can customize it with your own photos. The other thing that you can do, and I'm going to provide a list of these as well, is there are some free stock art programs online, or stock art websites online. One of them is, let me show you the names of these. Okay. One is called Unsplash. The other is Pixabay, and the other is Pexels. Let me open one of those up, and I'll just show you. If you don't like any of the stock art that they have, or there are too many that are behind the paywall, you can go to a service like Pixabay and look for something that you want to put in there. So let's take this. Here, I've got these. These are 3 free images from Women's History Month. I can download these to my computer and then upload those onto Canva. So these are completely free, and they're no copyright issues or anything like that. That's what's great about these sites. There are quite a few of those, but I think Pexels, Unsplash, and Pixabay are the top ones to check out. They seem to have the most variety. So I'll provide the links for those as well. Okay, I'm going to stop there for a minute. Check out let me go back here. Check out the questions. I don't know why my computer keeps wanting to jump forward, or my slide deck. Let me go back here. There we go. Okay, so let's see. So you can add your own photos. I think I showed how to change the background color, and all right. Yeah, I am presenting this on PowerPoint. These are PowerPoint slides I'm presenting here. Yeah, so I do want to walking through the printing process. So here are a couple of things you can opt for. You can download this yourself if you want. And you can download it as a PDF, and I can do this for free. So I now have it here, and gives me a little promotion here, but because these are all my own photos, I've got this set. I can also send it out to get printed myself. So it'll sometimes walk you through sizing a little bit, but here I've got a double-sided option here, which means it will print both on the outside and the inside. And you can choose the finish you want. Maybe you want to go glossy, and you have your choice of the number of options you want, number of copies you want. You can go down to just that amount. And then here is continue. So where you'll find that again is if you go into here, this little ellipses right here, and you scroll down, you'll see some options here for sharing whatever you're doing, or here is a place for trifolds, for printing a trifold. And in addition to, so for dropping these in, you can just, here is a way to just drop this into the frame. I don't want to do that one. Let me see what I've got in my own photo library. I can drop that in very easily. And even within this frame, I can move this around. All right. So yeah, you can just drag and drop that in. You can also, if you've got photos on your computer, you don't have to just worry about upload media and dropping it in that way. You can actually drag and drop a photo directly in to the, let me say, if I go in here, I could take this single image and just drag it and drop it straight from my computer desktop right into, and there it is. And you do have to set up, you do have to register with Canva. That's more so they will just keep your projects. So if I go back to the Canva homepage, you'll see here, everything I've been working on is still here. I have to deliberately go in to trash a project if I don't want it anymore. So that way you can start something, walk away, and just come back to the website.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Which do you prefer to use when you're creating, let's say you want to create a flyer, do you think this is easier than doing it on PowerPoint?
Yeah. I mean, PowerPoint's pretty easy to use too, but this is designed more for creating a print product rather than just something digital. So I would probably go with something like this instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott,
Yeah, go ahead.
Scott, when you went back to look for your designs, where did you find those? Where do they keep those?
Right here, when you open up the homepage, it will say your designs.
Oh, okay.
And everything I've worked on, you can even see I was playing around with different holiday cards back in December, and they're all still there. Until I delete them, they stay there.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And yes, once you download those pictures, they will stay in your upload file. So everything that I have uploaded of my own will be in here. Okay.
Do they have certificates?
Yeah, I believe they would. Yeah, if you wanted to
Mhm.
print a certificate, if you can't find it right there on the menu, just type in
Do a search.
certificate and you can do a search, and there you go.
Okay, cool. I like this.
Yeah. Now, there was an interesting question about downloading, this is from Carter, about downloading a virus. And I don't think there's a big risk with that on any of these platforms, including those stock photography sites I told you about. They are pretty legit and pretty widely used. One thing I would caution you against, though, is going to Google Images or something like that, and then just calling up a photo and downloading it from there.
Okay.
Number one, you can risk violating a copyright. And number two, yeah, maybe there's a little bit more of a risk with a virus in that case. Not a
Okay.
huge one, but the bigger risk is the copyright infringement. And sometimes somebody will discover that you're using something of theirs without permission, and they may come after you. In fact, depending on how widespread your project is and available, somebody could catch it pretty easily. So it's a good idea to just go with those free stock art sites where you don't have to worry about any violation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And somebody I saw asked about a logo. And that is, let me go in here and just type logo. Those are easy to create on here too. You've got a bunch of templates. So say since I do a lot of photography, maybe I want to create my own photo studio. So I would go in here and I would just come up with some kind of, maybe I don't want this. No, that's not all that great. Maybe something simple like this. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time trying to design that, but there I go. I've got my own photo studio. Or if you want to, oh, that's a pro one. So let me find a different one here. Say you want to create what else is in here? Yeah, you can just scroll through here a little bit if you want. The other thing is you can create it completely from scratch. In fact, you can do everything on here completely from scratch. They can provide you with your own options here for trying something out. But if I wanted to create my own logo, I could go into, first of all, maybe find a nice element that I want to add in there. And say I want to start a pet grooming site. Maybe I'll take some, I'm trying to find something that might be free here. Unfortunately, a lot of these are behind a paywall, but you could always find something to Now, say I'm going to use this. I'm not going to print this, so it's okay. But once you buy this, the watermark would go away if you wanted to purchase just this piece of stock art. And then you add in your text, and they have a lot of options here, just some little templates that you might want to try out. Say I want to go with this one. And we'll type something like beautiful pets. And type in grooving services here. And you've got yourself a logo.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even go in here and change the color of the text if you want. Say you want to make it more like the pink there, or maybe a little.
Mm.
Yeah. Whatever you want to try out.
And what about the background? The background,
if you wanted to create a colored background for it, you can go down here and you have your choice where you could just do a solid color.
Okay.
So I'm just going to grab one here and drop that in. They also have a lot of background designs, like something like this, where you get more of a gradient look, or or something like that. So okay, so there's a question about the watermark. They put watermarks on these so that you don't just download these and try to use them for free when they are part of the premium package. Now, I think you can, if you downloaded this yourself, I'm using one of their images. If I downloaded this, they are going to charge me because I'm using a premium image. So if I buy that, they're going to charge me $1, which isn't bad. I don't have to get a pro account. I can just buy the image itself, and I just pay. They'll walk me through the pay process, and then that watermark will go away. But that watermark is sort of like a way to, it's sort of like the same thing if you've ever, say, gone to buy something in an electronics store or something like that. They may have, or clothing. I've seen them do this with clothing, where they have those little plastic things that they attach to it that they have to remove. So if you wanted to steal it, you'd have that thing stuck on there and you wouldn't have any tool to get it off. So it's, the watermark is sort of the same idea.
So with this account, you have to leave a credit card then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, if you wanted to, yeah, you would, if you wanted to buy one of their pieces of art, or if you wanted to send it out for print. So if
I was just thinking that if when I sign up, I was going to skip the credit card.
Okay.
So I'm just like, could I still operate long as I don't get anything?
Well, if you want to print it yourself, you could do that. The other thing you can always do is download a PDF of any of your projects.
Okay.
So let me go back to one of my projects that I did as a demo here. So let's say we take this one. I was playing around with, a brochure earlier. Say I want to just download this myself. I can just hit download it as a PDF, and then I can take it to anywhere I want. I could just put it on, say, a thumb drive and take it to Office Depot or something like that and get it printed out right there. And then, you know, I don't have to really worry about putting a credit card online if you're uncomfortable with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the turnaround time if I did order from Canva? What is the range?
I think, let me see if I can show any kind of, You know, it's hard to say because of the mail service right now. Because it's been a little bit slow, but if you, well, here, you do have some shipping details. So you can order it as express, which is kind of costly. It adds to the cost, but that would be $25 to get it within 2 or 3 business days. But if you're not in a big hurry, you can just get it shipped to you for free. And it'll be there within 14 business days.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah. No, I will tell you, I did this with holiday cards, like just holiday postcards, our family season greetings card back in December. And if you remember, the post office was really struggling back then. And I still got them within a week. And I will tell you too, that the quality was really good. I was really impressed. So.
Now, you said you could download it as a PDF file. What am I missing? Why wouldn't somebody always download it as a PDF file?
They might want to. If you want to if you don't have a printer at home and you want to just send it out to get printed or send it off to be printed with their service and have it returned to you, you could do it that way. But if you do want to save money, you can do this all for free just by downloading it and printing it out on your own printer.
Is the quality compromised with a PDF?
No. Quality should be fine on a PDF, especially with a service like this. So I think there are a couple of formats. If you PDF printed is what they suggest, which means it's really optimized for really high quality.
Okay.
So that would be a route to go. Yeah.
Okay, Scott, I had a question in the chat, but it's about printing. When I downloaded the PDF and looked at it to print, the background color that I had changed.
Okay. Let me see why that might be. I'm going to download a PDF and see what happens on my computer. Okay, so let me open this up and see. Okay, mine did not change. So, Felicia, I don't know what to tell you other than maybe go back and check and see if you saved that color or anything like that. I'm not sure why it would not show up as it's a different color than what you saved.
I saved red, but when I got ready to print it, the background was white.
Okay, that's interesting. What I would do is just make sure you saved it. I might go back and close out of it, go back to saved. If you go back to your homepage and see your saved designs and try it again and see if that works.
Okay, thank you. I'll try that.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the answer to it. Yeah. And Brenda, no, you will not be charged for printing a brochure yourself as long as you're not using any of their watermarked photos. If you're just using anything they provide on there for free, or you upload and use your own artwork or something you've bought from one of those stock art sites, or not bought, but downloaded from one of those stock art sites, you can go that route.
But that even applies if you do the PDF?
Right.
Okay.
You will have to pay if you download anything with a watermarked image. They will charge you maybe $1 or $2 for the image, but if it's your own design, completely yours, then it's totally free to download.
Okay.
As a PDF. Yeah.
Scott, I have a question. Once you download it as a PDF, and let's say you want an approval from a committee, how it looks, will they have to have a Canva account in order to open it up?
No. So let's take well, let's go back to that one we designed for Women's History Month. If you take this and you can share it, and you can type in, say, an email address here, or if you're sending it to several people, the easiest thing to do here is hit copy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got a link
Mm-hmm.
that you can drop in to an email, send out to as many people as you want, and they can open that up and see what'll happen is if I open up that link, they'll be able to just see it right on their screen. I'm going to see if, yeah, so what they would see is probably something along the lines of this. So they could be on here and just give you any feedback they wanted. They could probably download it themselves to look at. So yeah, you've got a lot of options there.
I have another question. If you say you want to do that trifold, and I have something on my Google Drive that I want a form that I would like to be able to attach, and then so people can fill it out. Do you know if a form will work with this as well?
So you'd want to attach it to something digital or have it?
I want to do a trifold.
Oh,
and
a trifold?
I want to be able to put that form on there.
That may be something in templates. That may be an image that you, let me see if there's something in there like that. Let me go into see if there's anything. Well, let me try this. Well, it doesn't look like that'd be that easy. That's something you may have to do with text.
Okay.
So maybe if you wanted to do that in here, you could just take all this out and just drop in all the fields that you want with, say I want to, I'll label this as form. And I'll just add some text in here and just, yeah, it'd be a little time consuming, but you could just bring it up here and
in other words, recreate it there.
Right. You could just say name and that, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. And then maybe down below, leave a space. I am not a great
That's
typist.
okay. Thank you. I appreciate it, but that may be more than what I want to do.
Well, could her form be that whole second page?
Yeah, it could. You could take, and I mean, it would, fold in here, right here with a trifold, but you could do it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I would play with it and see what I can do.
Yeah. The other thing that you can find up here too is, I don't know if this would work, but yeah, I would play with it. I'm sure on the homepage, they probably have forms that you could look for and maybe, maybe sort of try to incorporate something like that in. You may have to play around with it, but yeah, there are.
Yeah. I saw one that was kind of like what I wanted to do. Yeah. Okay.
So here's, I don't know if you're seeing this comment, Felicia, but there was, Tracy mentioned something about the layers, and there are layers in these. So I don't know if that might have been the problem, but let me call one of these back up. So each one of these is a layer. If for some reason, I'm not sure that's the thing, but if I position this backward, I don't know if you caught that, but now this overlaps.
Oh, yeah.
And if I wanted to change that, I just go back and make that go backward, and then the picture will overlap. Same here. I could have this image, if I can get it, this image here, go backwards, so the picture overlaps both of those.
Okay. So when you print it out, and you have 2 pages, you have to, I guess, do whatever you need to do with your printer in order for it to be back to back, right?
Yeah, you'd probably, with most consumer printers or most of the affordable ones, I guess, you know, we have kind of just a standard HP printer here. You'd have to print the one side. If you're doing, say, 20 of these, you'd have to just print out the one side and then feed them back in to print out the other side.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay. And Edie, I'm not sure I'm understanding your question when you say rotating at 180 degrees. You feel free to unmute yourself if. I mean, one thing no, that's not doing it.
If you open this up and you wanted the form to go up across differently, in other words, you wanted the form to be so that the folds would go across the middle of the form horizontally. So you'd have to rotate the form 180 degrees, turn it to the right, or 90 degrees, whatever.
Okay.
I guess I'm asking 90 degrees. I'm sorry.
90 degrees. Okay. So that the form would be maybe just over here or across, you mean?
Inside the form.
Oh, so it would be inside. You could put it inside here. This would be the inside when you're opening it up. And you could have it.
Turn that so the form word is on the right hand. If you don't know what rotating 90 degrees is, then I won't worry about it.
Well, you mean like rotating it this way?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you could have it so that it, yeah. Yeah, you can rotate it any way you want. So you could set it up like that if you wanted to. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's a brochure. Let me make sure I hit all the questions. Oh, Margaret wanted to know about changing the shape of a logo. There's a lot of flexibility with the logos. If I go back to, where's that logo I worked on? Okay, I could take something like this and this shape in the back right here. I could just look for something else. Here, if you go to elements, again, a lot of just clip art, things like that. I could just go down to, say, shapes, maybe put a circle here. Give it a really light color of some sort, say like a light gray or something like that. And bring it down here, position this in the back. And I've got a whole new design there. Okay. So that is just that's a logo, and then we did a trifold brochure. I'm gonna X out of some of these, but let me just show you what else is, what some of your other options are here. You can go back here and you've got an option to do a poster, something like this. You can do a newsletter if you've got a newsletter to send out of some sort. They've got all kinds of options there. And this is all customizable using your own designs, anything like that. Change background colors and so forth. And if you can't find what you're looking for in just the drop-down list, you can always just go to things like, say you want to create a yard sign. All kinds of options there too. And I'll just go quickly to Design Bold, which is another site that has some of the same options. It's pretty similar. The only thing is there is, and I'll show you here, they have the pricing options right here. You can do the free option, which allows you all kinds of layout. I mean, like 10,000 or more free layouts. And you can also get 5 design downloads per month, which means anything that you want to download and print, you're limited to 5. But all kinds of options here. You can create logos here. You can create resumes, posters, flyers, things like that, certificates. And the one option is, one lack of an option here is actually getting it printed. Here you have to download it yourself and worry about sending it out to get printed somewhere, or just doing it yourself on your own computer. Okay. So Brenda had a question about your bank details. If you are not ordering anything for print or downloading any of the premium images or anything like that, you do not have to give any bank details at all. The only time you would have to give bank details is if you're going to order print copies through their service. But if you just download it yourself, then that's not an issue at all. Oh, okay. Somebody was asking about how to do the printing for t-shirts. That's a whole different class, which I've actually proposed that we start, and I've got to do a little more research on that to see how that works. I've never used it, but I have used other sites to print t-shirts, and they usually just keep your design there like these for you to use. And you can not only do it for t-shirts, you can do it for coffee mugs and tote bags and things like that. And the designs are just digital, and whenever you or somebody else orders one of those items, they just print it right on there. So it's not a decal that you would have to iron on at all.
So that class is coming soon?
I hope so. It's on the proposal list that I put forth, and so I'm hoping that we'll get that up on the schedule very soon. And I will tell you, if you want to hurry that along, Felicia, on the feedback form you get, if you want to plug that into the area where it says, what else would you like to learn? That might show there's some interest. So
I'll do it today.
All right. All right. Okay. And yeah, there are, I did see a question from Iris about letterheads and envelopes. I do believe those are there. In fact, I think somebody was wondering about return address labels. I think that should be there as well. Yeah, you can create those here get those printed as stickers. So, okay.
I guess when you register, you probably subject yourself to some emails.
You know, I have not received any. To tell you the truth, I don't receive a whole lot of promotions from them. And that's with Canva. I don't know if some of the other sites are going to do that. One thing I will tell you though, is I've been looking at these other ones, like, what were the other ones I listed? Crello and Visme. I have seen them pop up on my Facebook page, which is a little scary, but that's kind of the way Facebook is working these days. So, one of the problems, I will admit, this is a do as I say, not as I do, I guess, but I sometimes will register for things using my Facebook credentials, and that way they can advertise to me. I just sort of ignore those when I see them on my Facebook feed, but yeah.
Are you saying it's not good to register with Facebook credentials?
If you don't want to get advertisements on your Facebook feed, then yeah, you might want to avoid that. So it's very convenient to do it that way, but
yeah, make it convenient.
Yeah.
So Scott, can you use Canva to do a PowerPoint though?
They do have that on there. It would not be PowerPoint itself, but it would be a slideshow that you could create. Yeah. Okay, so just to sum up, I will send you a list of these takeaways just so you have it for reference, along with links, names and links to all the services I mentioned for you to test out. Just want to let you know about some other classes coming up. Also, if you want to share your experience or your success based on what you learned from this class, say you create something, you're really proud of it, please feel free to let us know. You can give us a shout out on our Facebook page at @GetSetup, or our hashtag is #GetSetup, or you can always email Liz on our marketing team, because she's always looking for ways to show some of the things our learners have been able to develop based on the classes they've taken. We do have these related classes coming up. There's one on, these are all more on the artistic end, recycled crafts, one on basic drawing, and if you're interested in publishing a book, there is a class on 6 questions to ask before you do that. My next classes, I'm teaching a couple on Monday, one on using the iCloud to store and manage your photos if you've got a lot of photos on your smartphone or on your iPhone, and then one on just the basics of the iPhone. If you're wanting to find out about some of the settings, things like that, I walk through those. That's a beginner's class, but if there's anything you've always been confused about with your iPhone, feel free to drop in on that. And again, you will be getting these class notes with some more suggested classes, a quick link to the entire schedule, and a link to the feedback form where you can rate the class and the guide and offer any comments you want about what you liked about the class, what you didn't, what might make it better, and again, things that you would like to learn that you don't see us offering on the site. Feel free to suggest something, because we are constantly looking for new class ideas, and if there's some real interest in a subject, we'll definitely create a class. So lastly, again, if you want to request a recording of the session, just email us at help@getsetup.io. You can also email us there to suggest a class you'd like to see us offer. Also, if you'd like to host an interest group of some sort, just for discussion, feel free to let us know about that. These are just discussion groups that you might want to lead. And lastly, would love it if you could spread the word about learning with Get Set Up. We are constantly looking to invite more people into our community for some interactive learning. So feel free to do that. Okay.
you so much. We enjoyed the class. I enjoyed the class.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm glad. I really enjoyed spending the time with you, and hope to see you all again soon.
When are you going to do this
Scott.
one again?
I'm not sure. This was the world premiere, so
Okay.
we'll see. But I was really thrilled with the number of people that signed up for it. So sounds like there's a lot of interest, and we'll probably have it up again pretty soon.
Yeah, because we did Canva, but we didn't get a chance to do the other. So it would be nice to do it again to get the other ones.
Yeah.
This one sounds quite promising.
Okay. Well,
Thank you, Scott.
thank
Thanks.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you,
Everybody
Scott.
have a great weekend.
You too.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.